going to spend a little time talking about cycling hills. I had a really good. I haven't been cycling long, maybe about 15 to 25 miles. That's pretty much what I've been doing this year. Mostly around 15 to 18 miles. That's my primary ride. I had a good ride today, and I just want to talk a little bit about hill climbing and what I notice is a beneficial way to approach a hill. First, make sure you're in the correct gear. You never want to start in a really high gear and then work your way down while you're on the hill, right? Everything has to be done smoothly. What I don't like it is when I'm switching gears and I feel this kind of like this I don't even know, there's almost like a jolt in the gearing that feels very uncomfortable. I don't like that. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're always in the correct gear. And what you have to do is you have to listen to your body, listen to your legs, what they're feeling. They'll tell you what gear you should be in. If it's too hard and the hill's too long, you're going to have trouble. So if you want to ride hard and really push and get a good speed, then make sure that you're ready for that and you're not doing it too early in the hill, because if you do too early, it's easy to get burned out. Now, if you do get burned out, of course you're going to reduce your gear to a lower gear, but just make sure you do it smoothly. So you should be pedaling at a rapid enough cadence. Speaking of cadence, cadence should be your top priority, maintaining a high cadence. So your gearing should match your desired cadence. I like to keep mine over 80, and if I can get to 90, that's even better. But the trick there is that you're building strength through cadence, and eventually that cadence will be able to be consistent even when you're on a higher gear, and that's where you want to be. And today I had a good day riding. There's this hill that I don't like, or I haven't liked, because I haven't been able to break my PR on Strava, personal record on Strava for it since, I mean, my personal record was in June, I believe, of 2025, and I finally broke it today. That was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I was approaching it the wrong way, because it kind of has this first section that's not extremely steep, and then it has a little bit of a dip, a decrease in the slope, and then it increases again. And I think I was putting too much effort into that early stage before running out of juice at that later stage. But what I did today was I said, nah, I'm going to keep on going. And regardless, I'm just going to keep this higher cadence going. And one thing that I do that helps me, and this is important, that you have to look where you're going. I don't like to look ahead too far, because then I could see the hill and that could have a negative impact on my riding. But what you want to do though is you want to look at the ground below, right? Because then I can't tell if it's a hill or flat, and it psychologically tricks me into believing that I'm on a flat grade. So, but you of course have to look ahead and a little bit, just to make sure you're not going to run into somebody or run into cars. Because I've actually crashed into a car climbing a hill. I wrote about it in a book once. This book I have about, it's kind of a fantasy book about cycling, and I remember crashing into this hill, so I included it in the book. It's semi-fiction. So I know that can happen, and especially when you're intensely involved in your climbing, if you're looking down, you're not going to be looking ahead. So what I do is I peek. I don't want to look ahead too far. But once I know that, the best feeling of all is when I'm peaking and just going and going and going, and I can feel the change, because you'll feel it, right? You'll feel an easier ability to pedal, and that's where I want to be. I want to get to that apex, but I want to put maximal effort into that. And you'll be surprised. I think that what differentiates people who are really good cyclists from those who are not is that there's the ability to maintain that high effort. And a lot of it's psychological. A lot of times we want to just give up when it seems hard and then go to a lower gear and then not continue. If you have to go to a lower gear, you still have to maintain that cadence. So it's not going to be a change. And sometimes I feel it when I'm riding. I feel that I've gone to the lower gear and I see myself decreasing my effort, and that's when I push the effort harder. I have to remember what I'm here for. Now, we all have different goals. My goal is to actually improve my performance. I like competing on Strava. I'd love to be able to race if I can. I got to get a different bike for that though. But you have to be able to read your body, read the hills. I read my body. I associate, which means I'm reading how my body feels. I only dissociate when it's like really, really hard. Like if I'm on a really steep grade and I have to just like this. I'm not gonna make it unless I just keep my mind focused on something else, right? So the pain is intense, but you need to read your body and you need to read your gears and you need to plan and practice. Just go out there and ride and have fun. Ride as many hills as you can. I mean, I like anything. It's sometimes I think ahead of them when I shouldn't be. I should be focusing on when I'm riding. There's a hill coming and I'm thinking, oh man, but that seems to be very normal. It's kind of like an anxiety, right? Just like anxieties, for people who have anxiety, they always think ahead of what's going to happen rather than allowing the moment to occur. So focus on what you're doing at the moment, right? And then be prepared for that hill by being in the right gear. Know your body, right? If it's a day when you can't ride very well, forget it. Do something flatter and enjoy. If it's a day when you feel great, go for it. All right. Well, anyway, I hope this helps with anybody's hill cycling. Bye.